Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted and Unchained. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see, this is episode 22 of my weekly, channel news videos. This is going to be a week in preview for the week of July 23rd. So basically beginning today and going through the rest of the week, including the upcoming weekend. As some of you might know, I was on vacation. I was in the Bahamas for the week, and while I was down there, I was intending on doing some reading. Um, Certainly reading of Dice and Men, and some other books related to the gaming industry. And I kind of got sidetracked. Sidetracked between just being on vacation and spending time on the beach and at poolside and going out to dinner and such. But my biggest sidetrack, at least as far as gaming is concerned, is that looking over my previous videos, and I noticed that there was a lot of interest in Bushido RPG. And so I spent, a good number of hours during my relaxation time, beachside or, poolside, and actually writing an adventure for Bushido. And so I'm looking to launch a Bushido campaign, introduce some new players to the system, bring some players in that remembered the game from back in the day, with a great deal of fondness. And so I decided that during the summertime, Bushido is going to be my one of my focused games, and it's going to have a separate video series, probably even as early as this evening, if enough players come join in. If not, sometime later in the week. Continuing on with news for this episode. I'm waiting on, so while I was on vacation, I didn't stop my shopping. And so I'm expecting a few items to come in the mail sometime during this week. And that's going to be some apparel. I got some new shirts, so at least one new shirt that should be arriving during this week. So I'll be showing that. I'm also getting at least 2 game systems. And so you're going to see a box opening and a review of the softback that I'm getting. I'm going to hold off on what those 2 game systems are, so that those videos can be somewhat of a surprise. Continuing on, by next weekend, I plan on having the continuation of my Mifrog campaign, the Scuderia Campaign. And this will be the second adventure for, both Matt and Arena, who had started running it. And, they had both completed at different times. They had both completed the first adventure. And so, I'm planning on getting in touch with them and perhaps some of the other players that were involved previously, and get a Mifrog session in time for Saturday, or at the latest by Sunday. So that's also on on the tablet for this week. RPG systems discussion is going to be a new feature of my channel, where I'm going to take just an element of various RPGs and make a separate video that's focused just on that element. So like today's feature is going to be on dice, and I'll go into more detail with that for its own video. And but I could look at systems that have a momentum, like the momentum doom mechanic of Conan RPG, the 2D20 system. Or I can look at the critical hits, and critical damage rolls of Mifrog, or even Bushido. It's which also has that as well. I could look at the magic or technology system of of different sci-fi or fantasy games and such. So just like not full reviews of those games, but just a review of the very specific mechanics that I believe make, some of those games, quite unique. So that's going to be a new channel feature, so a new series of videos that are going to be included on my overall channel. So continuing on, my summertime goal is to increase my subscription base, to about 300, hopefully about 300 members. So about 180, 183 short of that. So, you know, if you're, if you're interested in the channel, you're interested in RPGs, please feel free to subscribe and, share it with your, share the content of this channel with your friends. And the more people we get involved in this channel, the more comments that you make, suggestions for content that you'd like me to cover, or if you're looking at if you're looking at a Kickstarter or you're running a Kickstarter of your own that you'd want me to take a look at and focus on. I've backed Kickstarters in the past, and I've done small previews for them on this channel, and I intend to continue doing that. I really look forward to doing more of that. If you have an RPG games related YouTube channel that you'd like for me to promote, I don't mind cross promotion. I don't mind looking at other people's channels. I don't see that we're in competition with one another. In that regard. I mean, I must subscribe to probably about 50 different YouTube channels, and I probably follow at least half of them fairly frequently. So so again, please feel free to post your comments and ask questions, make suggestions, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you hit the alert so that you're alerted to when a new content is is put up on board. This next couple of days, I'm actually going to be putting up several different videos. So this week is going to be a pretty intensive week as far as videos going online. I'm assuming about 3 or possibly 4 following this video. And last but not least, make sure that you likewise you go to Facebook and you sign up, or ask for an invite for On-Screen Gaming OSG. You can do a very simple search; it'll come up there, and we're a pretty open forum. It's actually a public forum, so it doesn't necessarily require an approval to join. But I get the alert when you're requesting to join, and as long as you're a gamer and your interests pretty much show that, and especially if we share a lot of friends, it's usually a very quick and very quick process of you getting approved to join the site. Actually, get this light on here. It's been storming all day in New York, so it's actually, it's roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like at 6:30 in the evening here. So once again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you stopping in. I hope that you continue looking over some of the videos that are in the archive there, and you find things that are interesting to you. Make sure that you leave a comment or a request, and I will get back to you on those. Which is exactly what I did with Bushido. I mean, I had several people actually say, I'm interested in seeing how this game plays. I'm interested in, actually getting involved in your next campaign. And that's where that idea came about in doing that. So once again, I hope to see you on the gaming screen sometime in the near future, and have a good week.